If you're in the UK, I'm sure you've had one of these drop through your door in the last couple of days. And if not, it's on the way. So let's talk about this. This is the council tax bill for 2025-2026. If you're outside of the UK and you're wondering what this is for, it is a levy slash tax that is applied to every household across the land. It is based on the size of your property and the number of inhabitants living there in terms of adults. And the money is to be used by the local council on behalf of the government in order to maintain and look after all of the facilities within that area. So, for example, it's used for the police, for the fire service, it has annual charges in there, and for the council itself. In past videos, I've talked about Northampton Town, and I've talked about some of the refurbishment works that they've carried out, 12 or 13 million pounds worth of spend in order to path or pave the local town centre shopping area. And in other past years, there was a scandal in which the local council decided to give the Northampton football team £11 million from our taxes to build a football stand, which ended up with the builder, the company that was going to create the work, going missing and stealing all of the £11 million, only to leave the football stadium with a missing stand, and me as a local resident without my tax money being spent appropriately. So, most people will have an issue with this bill, but would also view it as, well, it's for the good of the local town. It's for the maintenance and upkeep and making the place look better. But as I showed you in this video link up here about my local town area and how run down it is, how much it just looks old and tired, I've got to often wonder, where is this money going? So today I wanted to have a discussion, and I actually went back and dug out, look at all the handwriting on this. This is my 2017-2018 bill. And I wanted to have a look at some of the prices and the costs that are on here and compare it until now to understand the difference. So in 2017-2018, and the reason that I mentioned that time parameter is that this is normally issued with the first payment being due in April, and then it runs all the way through until the beginning of January. And then you effectively get 2 months for free, depending on how you've paid this system up, right? So you can break it down into monthly installments, or you can pay it as one lump sum. Anybody in the UK will understand this. Anybody international, tell me down in the comments. You must have something similar. Is that property tax, or is that something that you pay estate tax for? Let me know so that I can understand better, because I really don't have a clue. But to have a look at this one, I want to show you that in the 13th of March 2017, when this was issued to me, the total cost for a property here, my home being a band D, it runs A, B, C, D, E, F, which is F being the highest, A being the lowest. So we're somewhere in the middle of all of that. The cost, the annual charge, was £1,608.40. Hopefully you can see that just there. So £1,608.40. And that bill was split over a number of different activities, which you can hopefully see at the top, with the percentage increase. Now, it's been written into UK law that the maximum that councils can increase their bills by was 5%. That is the highest. In fact, I think, let me check, and I'll add it in here once I've edited this video, but it might have been as low as 4%, which means that if the council needs more money than that, they're not allowed to break that threshold. So Northamptonshire Council, their increase was 2% from the previous year. The Borough Council was 2.4%. The adult social care, so that's me paying tax in to help other people who have needs, went up by 3%. The parish local area went up by 0.8%. The police commission went up by 2%. And the property band council tax had a natural increase of 4.4%. So that was my bill in 2017. Let's compare that to the 2025-2026 bill, which I've just received. And I will show you that the costs for the 1st of April until the 31st of March 2026 are defined as £2,292.21. Just here. So let me give you the statistics. That is a cash increase of £683.81. Let's just round it up to £700 of a difference. That is a monthly council tax bill increase of £56.99. So every month I've got to find pretty much an extra 60 quid just to pay for anything that the council decides to enact without me really having any say in it. Overall, that is an increase, wait for it, drum roll, of 42.5% in just 2017 to 2025. 42.5%, which is an annual increase of 4.5% inside that threshold. But I just want to state, let's pause on that for a second. But nearly 700 quid extra. And the reason I bring this up is simply to say, where does it all go? Because if you're in the UK and you're having a look around your area, it doesn't look cleaner. We don't have better policing on the streets. We don't feel safer. We are spending money left, right and centre with no real trace of where it goes. There is no accountability on this. You cannot audit them. You cannot request to see where your taxes are spent. And actually at this point, there is a movement in the UK to cease paying this council tax bill as a protest. And many areas are doing that simply because they are due to have a vote in which party is running the local council, Labour, Conservative, Reform, etc. And Labour has decided to suspend many of those votes for this year because they want to have a look at the policies. So they've effectively removed people's ability to have a voice so that they can possibly stay in power a little bit longer in some of those councils. That's a discussion for another day. But 4.5%, and I say that because when I look at my bill for this year, which I can show you here, West Northamptonshire Council, as it's now known, because the original council, the one that I was paying this to, has gone bust. Do you know why they've gone bust? See comments about football stadium and local town squares being rejuvenated. That's where all of those issues came from. So my local council's gone bust. It's been taken over by another council and they've issued the statement. So my council charge is going up by 5%. The fire and police commissioner costs are going up by 4.6%. The fire commissioner part of it is going up by 6.6%. Hunsbury Meadows Parish Council is going up by 4.3. Remember, previously that was 0.8. It's now 4.3. And the annual charge for this period is going up by 5%. Now, I say this, and really I should be thankful, because I can tell you that other councils around the UK, the law that was in place for the 4 or 5% threshold has been removed by the Labour government. And it now can be whatever the council needs it to be. And it has been as high as 25% in some towns and cities. Birmingham, for example, their council tax, this bill has gone up by 25%. The question I've got for you here is, how much money can they keep taking from us? And by they, I mean the government and our councils. How much money can they keep taking from us before people are at a breaking point? Now, I'm not in that situation. However, I am out of work, so I'm looking at every single penny. But if you are a single parent, if you are living on your own, if you are working in a low earning position, then how are you managing to get by on all of this? It really is eye opening to me just how much we're being bled, whether it be tax when you earn a salary, tax when you spend, tax when you get a car, tax when you put fuel in that car, tax when you go to the shops, tax when you die, tax when you buy a house, taxed if you save up for that house, taxed if you sell that house. We are the highest tax paying nation around the EU. Me personally, I was on a 50% tax rate in my position, and I sit now and think, I've contributed to this country for 31 years, and now that I find myself out of a job, there is zero help for you. And it just really leaves me questioning who have we got running this country? And I say this for all sides. It's people that have no business experience, don't know how to manage books, and they're literally just spending, spending, spending. We should be living in a country with the streets paved with gold. And the reality is, the UK is a third world country attached to London. Yeah, and London is not far behind. So, if you're in the UK, have you received your council tax bill yet? Is it eye-opening to you? Do you take it all in your stride and think, yep, it's for the better good? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This is my Monday morning rant. And I'll still laugh it off at the end. Thanks for watching. Be back tomorrow with new content. And in the meantime, YouTube thinks you might be interested in this video or over here somewhere. But why don't you carry on watching? Thanks. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.